Hey folks, Matt from artoftheimage.com. So Nikon has made the official announcement. We got the Z6, we got the Z7, full frame mirrorless cameras. They look pretty cool. There's not too many people not liking the looks of them. Some people thinking maybe they're a little on the large side. I don't think so. I think they look pretty amazing. I don't think they're too big. I love that new Z mount and the seemingly unlimited potential it offers for going with that bigger mount. And I mean, we've already got a 0.95 58mm knocked in the works, thanks to the enlargement of that mount, thanks to that great big Z mount. Makes you wonder what else they've got coming that we haven't even been alerted to or has been hinted at yet. I bet you there's some surprises up their sleeves. However, the biggest question remains for me, everything about these cameras looks pretty good. I can't wait to get my hands on one. There's nothing I'm disappointed with from all the rumors and the leaks. We seem to basically have gotten what they promised. We've got the megapixels. We've got the Z6 at 24. We've got the Z7 at 45. Some pretty impressive specs all across the board. You know, we've got 4K. We've got loads of goodness packed into these cameras. Good competitors against the A7 III and the A7R III. But the biggest question, the single biggest question that remains in my mind, and I think in a lot of people's minds, that I really haven't seen succinctly answered yet, a little bit of hints at kind of things that worry me over on DP Review for their first glance there. But the biggest question is, how is the video autofocus? You know, as I said before, we need Nikon to be able to compete head-to-head against Canon's Dual Pixel AF. They haven't been able to do this in any of their DSLRs. It's been their weak point. It's been their Achilles heel. When we're talking about the Dual Pixel AF from Canon, we're talking about that ability to follow a subject smoothly and accurately without the lens continuously racking itself to try to confirm, maintain, or hit focus. And with the Nikons, the DSLRs, it's done that. It's constantly making noise and coming in and out of focus and confirming focus. And it's just something that they weren't good at. And as I'd said in the lead-ups and the many discussions and videos and talks we'd had leading up to these exciting announcements of these two cameras, is this was the one thing that I thought was going to be the critical point for Nikon on these cameras, is were they able to hit something equivalent to or as good as Canon's Dual Pixel AF, the DPAF as it's called. Sony has something basically the same or better. Some people would say that the A7 III and the A7R III are even better than Canon's Dual Pixel AF. I know my good friend Peter Gregg prefers the Sonys to it. He was surprised when he did tests. He actually said, wow, these Sonys are actually better than Canon's Dual Pixel AF. And that's saying a lot, because Peter is a diehard fan of Dual Pixel AF. So actually, I was just reading over on Sans Mirror. That is Tom Hogan's site, and it's his mirrorless site. He's got a long list of questions. He says, so let's wrap up this article. He's got an article entitled Nikon Re-Enters Mirrorless. It's a good article if you want to go over and read it. But he says, wrapping up the article on Nikon's new system, by documenting the questions that everyone wants more elaborate and detailed information about. Now, the first question is, how's the focus perform? Is it DSLR level, better at some things, worse at others, question mark? So that was the first question. But the more important question to me, because I'm fairly satisfied it's going to be pretty darn good autofocus for photos on there. But his second question, so this is telling because it's his number 2 question he wants answered, and that he thinks everyone wants answered, is how's the video focusing? Nikon has long had too much over and back in their video autofocus moves. Is that gone? And that's what I'm talking about. It's another way to put it, that over and back, constantly hunting, constantly racking the focus and then back again to confirm it's in focus, and being noisy too while it's doing it. Basically making their continuous autofocus in video unusable. And I think pretty much everybody would agree with me on that. It is unusable. Certainly night and day compared to Dual Pixel AF or the new Sony version of that. So that's the big question here. That is the question that I think we need to see answered. So far, I haven't seen anybody address that specifically online. As I said, I was reading a couple articles. I think it was the first glance or whatever they call it on DP Review, and it didn't seem promising from what that reviewer was saying. It seemed like he wasn't that impressed with it. I'm hoping that's not the case. I'm hoping we see some solid reviews and demonstrations that it is as good, at least on par with Canon Dual Pixel AF, and hopefully on par with Sony's. I have to get these cameras in my hand myself. I'm still waiting to get them in. That'll be like the first thing I want to see. How's the live video focus? In other words, how's it compare to Canon Dual Pixel AF and Sony? What do you guys think? Have any of you out there had these cameras in your hand and had the opportunity to test it yet? If so, please leave some comments. Let us know. What's your feelings on that? Is it equal to? Is it comparable to? I guess the other question is, because a lot of us, I mean, there's not going to be too many people that have at this point had that opportunity. How important is it for you? Is it as important as I think it is, or is that a minor feature for you? Let me know in the comments below. Let's discuss this. Curious to see what you think on that, how important this issue is to you. But first and foremost, for those of you that have been lucky enough to get your hands on these cameras and actually have played with this aspect of these cameras, what do you think of it? Is it comparable to Dual Pixel AF? What would you compare it to? Have you shot a Canon? Which one? And how good is it in comparison? Or the Sony a7 III or the Sony a7R III? How's it compare to that? If you've shot both of those, please let us know. Looking forward to hearing that from those of you that have been lucky enough to have played with them so far. Looking forward to hearing what the rest of you have to say as well on the significance of this. And stay tuned. We will continue to discuss this, and I'll let you know as soon as I know when I'm going to have one or both of these cameras in hand. Thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned. We'll be back soon here at artoftheimage.com.